It's a chilly day here in Colorado. The temperatures honestly have been a little bit higher than normal, but I'm really excited to make this video for you guys today because today we're going to be asking the question, the golden question. If you could only have one vehicle for the next 5 years and your budget was $100,000, how exactly would you be spending the money on that vehicle? Now, what's really crazy is people had such different responses when it came to this question. It was honestly a bit emotional. Now, some people said that they already had this car in their garage, and some people recommended the car of their dreams. I'm simply asking this question because I don't know if I'm going to own the Mustang much longer. I'm really not trying to sell it at the moment, but I am constantly looking for what that next vehicle is going to be. So many questions to be answered, so we sought out to ask Cars and Coffee Colorado. We got almost 500 responses into this question, but the bottom line is me and Adam actually chose our 3 favorites from the list. I chose 3, Adam chose 3, and I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. Everybody would spend their money different, but that's what makes this question so exciting. Now, if you are new to the channel, my name is Jacob and this is Rocky Mountain Sav. I have a 2018 Coyote Mustang. It has long tube headers and an E85 tune. It's tastefully modded. I wish I could do more to it at the moment, but the bottom line is I do want more. I'm looking for another car, and you know, those 3 answers, one of them hopefully in the near future could be it.
One day soon, we got this. One day soon, one day soon, one day soon.
Now, if you simply just look at the bio on my channel, you're gonna probably be able to guess my first selection. Surprisingly enough, out of the 500 different responses that we received on this posting, only 1 or 2 people said an R35 Nissan GTR. So not very a popular pick as far as the car community is concerned here in Colorado. But for me personally, at that price point of $80,000 to $90,000, coming in right under that 100K threshold, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of 600 horsepower right out of the gate, all-wheel drive system, and be buzzing around in the snow, rain, sunshine. Literally does not matter, and just that twin-turbo V6 would sound just absolutely amazing, especially once you get some downpipes, tune, shoot a little flames. Those cars are incredible, and I would love to own one in the near future. I love the taillights on this car. I've always been a big taillight kind of guy, and that's kind of why I love the R35 so much. Just those bug eyes, those alien eyes, they look so spectacular. So Adam finally got here. He's going to talk about his 3 that he picked from the list, and it's pretty exciting because just like I told you guys, it's going to be very, very different from what I originally told you guys. The question is, did the R35 make it to your list?
Was that one of the comments on the post?
1 or 2 people, 1 for a fact, did say GTR.
Okay. I agree with it, but unless they posted a lifted build or a bagged build, that's probably why I pulled picking that one.
So if you have $100,000, you're not buying a GTR. Oh.
If I can only have one vehicle, like for this question, I picture myself, like I pictured this question as only having one vehicle in my garage. Like that is the only set of keys I have. So if that was,
as it should be,
if that was my only set of keys, I wouldn't pick a R35 GTR. Unless it was on airbags, with a little, it would need to be able to get good clearance to where I could off-road and have a great time. I think it's possible, but just because I haven't seen with my own eyes that lifted build of a GTR, I wouldn't pick it.
All right, so you heard it first, guys. Adam is not, if it's just one vehicle, how many vehicles do you have to have for a GTR to be in the garage?
2 for sure.
So his second vehicle would be a GTR, meaning he does like it, but it would not be the only one. So with that being said, Adam, what was your first vehicle on the list in no particular order? What was your one on the list, your first one that you would have under $100,000?
No particular order, because this one really threw me off. I didn't think I would have one that would be such a low dollar initial purchase price point, but my first one out of the posts was a square body Suburban, like those 80s, 90s model Suburbans. Guys posted a couple different builds with crazy off-road suspensions, and they just made such good points. Like, they're such sturdy builds. You can fit anything in it. You can tow anything with it. You can sleep as many as you want, and you can, with that much space, you're still able to move over crazy stuff.
So, with that being said, the second option that I chose on my list, if I could only have one vehicle in my garage less than $100,000, I chose Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Yes, that's right, a Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, 700 horsepower, Hellcat motor, all-wheel drive. Now that would be an absolute beast. Just imagine mobbing around on this snow, going up into Breckenridge Vale. And that's kind of what you have to keep in mind with this kind of selection process, is not only a vehicle that makes you happy, but it's practical in all seasons of weather. And since I find myself in the mountains so much, I would love to have a 700 horsepower beast that could be rain, snow, shine, and you guys will kind of find a common theme. I did choose 100% all-wheel drive platforms. Love that car. If I could afford one right now, that would be the car in my garage, just because of all of the spacious room that you get with it, and you just have so much room, so much power, and the looks on it are absolutely menacing. Alrighty, so any indication as to what your second vehicle on the list would be?
Yes, so my second pick would be the Macon GTS.
Ooh,
Porsche.
all right, so this one was almost on my list. Now, if there was 5 or 6 cars to be chosen on this list, this is really exciting because a Macon was going to be like probably a 5th or 6th option on my list, but nonetheless, it's an honorable mention. So, why did you personally choose the Macon? What about it entices you?
And first, the fact that it has the Porsche drivability. Second, that it's got so much more clearance than your 911, your Panamera. You get all-wheel drive, you get twin-turbo V6. It's a Porsche. The 6 cylinders are all you really need. So you've got that turbo power, you've got the all-wheel drive. And
He says it's a Porsche. He says it's a Porsche.
So I really wasn't familiar with the Macon before that post. Like, I had seen the Cayennes, and I think they're cool, but I don't know, the Macon really got me. So that was my second for sure.
As far as the first 4 options, I believe there has only been 1 sedan. Pretty shocking. I think I'm pretty shocked by that. I don't know. I'm a big sports car guy, but here in Colorado, you need the space for activities, and you definitely need that all-wheel drive platform. So it only makes sense that 3 out of the 4 thus far are SUVs.
One day soon, we got this.
These Colorado sunsets I do not take for granted. Man, ever since I moved here from Texas, I've never regretted my decision. Colors are gorgeous. All right, guys, so I thought it was only righteous to show you guys why my third pick is what it is. So, if there's any BMW fanboys out there, you're gonna be a huge pick of this one. My whole life, I've been a big fan of the M4, but that didn't make the list. The X4M is my third and final pick on the list, simply because it's got that absolutely monstrous M4 motor under the hood. It's got that luxurious interior and that absolutely capable all-wheel drive system. And that's simply why, back up a little bit, Adam, I don't want to kill you. Mustang owners got to protect their friends, but an X4M can't do this. Yes, that's right, everybody. An X4M concludes the final car on my list. It sounds so good whenever you get the downpipes in tune on it, the crackles and the pops every time you let off the accelerator. A good friend of mine has an M5, a 2013, and he's got the tune and downpipes done to his. So to round it out, we had the GTR R35, the Trackhawk 700 horsepower, and finally a tastefully modded X4M. I couldn't imagine owning any of these three vehicles. They would perform so great in the snow, be able to take them up the mountains, and then at the end of the day when it's super sunny and, you know, great outside, summertime, you can just rip around, you know, take it wherever and just clear your head. But really guys, that X4M is super underrated, especially compared to the other two cars on the list. A lot of people might not even know about their capabilities, but at the end of the day, it is my third and final selection on the list just because of its pure sound. It's vicious, it's ferocious, it crackles, it pops, it bangs. It literally checks every single box on my list as far as what would need to be required for a fun commuter, something that would perform fantastic in the snow and have a little fun at that, and then something that I would just feel confident in its overall reliability. So yes, R35, Trackhawk, X4M, and the competition at that. Yes, sir.
All right, so my third pick, the Audi RS7. I saw some beautifully spec'd ones on the post. It's a car that's always in the back of my mind as something that's really a dream to have. And the black on black one that got posted with the craziest of rims, it did something for me. And so that's why the third final pick of mine on this list is much lower to the ground than the previous picks of mine, and truly much less conventional as an all-around fun mobile, considering all of the trails that Colorado has to offer. But I imagine that there is a rally build that could be made out of the RS7 that would make Trackhawk owners drool.
And on the whole note of being able to go on a trail, that's honestly why the Trackhawk and the X4M were such high picks on my list. I couldn't imagine if you just lifted that X4M just a couple of inches, threw some Blizzaks on it, and then you're right good to go for some winter off-roading. Righty, now for the final thing. In what particular order would Adam and I actually go to the dealership and purchase the vehicles that we chose off of that list?
So from the top for me, my first purchase would be the Macon GTS. My second would be the, or no, because it's all around one. It would be the Macon GTS, and then it would be the classic 8090 Suburban, followed by the RS7. I know it's crazy to say the Suburban, okay, RS7 goes second, and then the Suburban. That sounds too crazy even to say. It's not true.
Alrighty guys, you heard it first. Adam almost let that RS7 get purchased after the square body Chevy. I think that my list is pretty easy. I think I would go GTR, X4M, Trackhawk. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Go ahead and drop a like, a subscribe, and I'll catch you next video. There were some selections on this list that were an absolute joke to me and Adam, and I'm sorry. But we were very specific about the rules of the challenge, and you had $100,000 to spend on any vehicle as long as it didn't exceed $100,000. So with that being said, my joke pick for the video is Ford Flex. Someone put that on there. I mean, yeah, they put some mods on there, and I'm sorry. If you ever see this video and you own that vehicle, I'm not sorry. It's ugly, and it's slow, and it is spacious, and if you had a family with like 5 or 6 people, it might make sense, but in my reality, that is the last pick. I mean, I'm literally gonna pay someone so that I don't buy that vehicle. Ford Flex is a joke.
My joke pick is the RS6 Avant, and the reason being, it's a beautiful car. I would love to have it. It made me drool a little bit, but part of the question was you have $100,000 to spend and you cannot find an RS6 Avant for sub 100K. It does not exist at the moment. 5 years from now, maybe if we made the post, that would be one of my picks, probably, but right now it's a joke. It's a joke.